With BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle getting rolled back soon, I've had the urge to go back and play it on the PS4. And I honestly really enjoy playing BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. I know a lot of people out there may not like the game, or people really love the game. Honestly, Cross Tag Battle is a game where mixed opinions are very few and far between. You either have, people who hate the game to high heavens, or people who love the game a lot. And me personally, I'm neutral, right? I like the gameplay, don't get me wrong. That's like the one thing of Cross Tag Battle that's actually, kind of kept me going. And honestly, the English dub and a bunch of that random shit. But I personally like playing Cross Tag Battle. There's a bunch of shit around Cross Tag Battle I'm not a fan of. And honestly, I will make more videos about that in the future since Cross Tag's a hot topic again. I might as well have an excuse to talk about it. But playing the game is actually pretty fun again. Like, it's been a while since I actually really played it. I've honestly kept swapping through consoles, playing because I originally had it for my PS4, then I sold it, then I had it for my Switch, then I didn't really play it that much, then I had it for my PS4 again, then I started playing it again with the 2.0, because originally I didn't have 2.0 for my PS4, so I started playing it again. I was like, wow, this is actually really fun. I actually really enjoy playing this game, because the game feels like there's a lot of variety with Cross Tag Battle, I believe. I think the one thing that's really good about Cross Tag Battle is that there's a lot of variety with your character composition and whatnot. Like, there's so many team compositions. You have 53 characters to work with. So, there's a lot of characters to put together and see how they fit. I personally had a team of Ragna and ARCSYS. Now, I mainly use Ragna mostly because, he was a character that I've always used in BlazBlue. I'm not very good at BlazBlue, but I've always liked to play Ragna. And ARCSYS, from ARCSYS BlitzConf, I never really liked playing him in Unis, and I never really played ARCSYS BlitzConf, so I don't know how he plays in there. But going off of Under Night in Birth, I didn't really like his gameplay. There was something felt off about ARCSYS. I did play the first version of Under Night in Birth, EXE late or X late, whatever you want to pronounce it, and I did not like playing him there. He felt really off. And then I learned that he was literally one of the worst characters in the game. And I don't really pay attention to tier lists or matchups and all that shit. But when I learned that he was kind of the worst character in the game, and I wanted to test that for myself, I felt like, yes, there's something off about ARCSYS in this game. And funny enough, it didn't get really better for me in Unis. I know you got better in Unis, but I never really enjoyed playing him in that game. I was like, okay, well, I never really want to play ARCSYS again, whatever. So when I finally got a chance to play BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, and ARCSYS was putting his character, I was like, you know what, let me give it a chance. And funny enough, for me personally, he actually syncs pretty well with Ragna. I'm not the best person when it comes to explaining gameplay, because I suck at that kind of shit. Honestly, like, me talking about gameplay of BlazBlue is actually any fighting game. It's really hard for me to say because I'm not very good at talking about that stuff. I can only talk about what I feel, and I feel like Ragnar and ARCSYS are a pretty good team. But honestly, you can make a team out of anyone you want. After like a lot of testing, you got plenty of like possibilities for characters to test them, see how they work well together. Like I remember playing a team of I can't remember. It was Heart. And I think Heart and Labrys, I want to say. I may be wrong, because it's been a minute. But I think I played a team of Heart and Labrys, and they actually worked out pretty well for me. I just wanted an excuse to play Labrys because she's actually my favorite my favorite Persona character. So I want an excuse to at least play Labrys a little bit. And even though I don't play her much because her gameplay is a little hard for me to get a hold of, honestly, it took me a while to learn Labrys in Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. It took me a while, and even though I, didn't jive with her gameplay at first, I liked the character so much, I was like, let me give it a chance. Who knows, maybe I'll learn something. And I didn't get any better with Labrys, but I started to understand how she worked. And Cross Tag Battle, it went with the same way. So, even though the game plays different from the characters from their home series, I definitely like learning Cross Tag Battle, mostly because of the, smaller ceiling for entry. I think that's one of BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle's best strengths. Is that it doesn't require you too much to get into the game, but you still have to learn team composition and matchups. And it's still the same way how you have to learn any other fighting game, right? It's just stuff now that it's the game's a little bit simpler for people to understand. And people hate this simple approach. People hate the team-based stuff. And honestly, I can understand why people would hate this stuff. This is, this is not the BlazBlue they're familiar with, right? But personally for me, I honestly don't care what BlazBlue plays like because I know I'm gonna have fun regardless, Every BlazBlue game that's come out hasn't failed me in the gameplay department. Honestly, if it did, I would have stopped playing the series years ago. I stay around for the lore, but I like playing the game too. And yeah, I like playing Cross Tag Battle. Honestly, it's a game that I could just pick up and play and pick any character I want. And if I want to go further with that character, I have the ability to do so by, training and whatnot. That's good for me personally, because I like when the games are like, not too hard to get into, but I don't want it to be like, super easy. And honestly, I've never played a game that's felt brain dead easy before. Like for me, or a fighting game really. I've never actually played a fighting game that's felt brain dead easy. Honestly, because like I honestly don't think there's a fighting game out there like that I've played, And Cross Tag Battle is not this baby game people, always talk about. Honestly, I really feel like it's an underappreciated game because it's gotten way better over time. But I can understand, if you're going into the game for the very first time, like way back, like around 2017 or 2018, and you realize how much DLC and all the other shit around the game and all the controversy led up to this point. Yeah, I can understand why someone would be sour on the game. I totally understand. But I think now with BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle 2.0 and all the new characters and all the new mechanics and stuff added, I feel like this is a perfect time to play the game, especially with rollback netcode coming to it. Best time to get into BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. And I definitely want to see more people play this game and talk about it. It's kind of hard to recommend Cross Tag Battle because honestly, it's not a game you can just, you can jump into the game, but it's not a game I can easily recommend to people, mostly because it either depends on if you're like a person who's not too into fighting games or a person who's really into fighting games. Honestly, again, Cross Tag Battle is a mixed bag, but I feel like, there's a lot of people who even played Cross Tag Battle as their first BlazBlue game that's actually really enjoyed it. Like, I've talked to a lot of people who actually got into Cross Tag Battle, and a lot of people who just don't give a crap about what the naysayers have to say, and I like that. Now, again, Cross Tag Battle started out really rough. Honestly, I would say if you were to ever play Cross Tag Battle, do not buy the original version. Yeah, I know the original version does add patches and whatnot, but like honestly, when you play the original launch version of Cross Tag Battle, you can definitely feel that the game is missing a lot of components. There's a lot of gameplay mechanics they add later that actually make the game a lot more fuller, because there's a lot of things in base Cross Tag Battle that actually feel really off, especially with the smaller roster. Like, you feel like the game should have had way more to it. And I feel like, with the DLC over time, even though I'm not a fan of the practice, honestly, I'm not at all. But I do like the idea of Cross Tag Battle 2.0 existing, or the special edition, sorry. I like the idea of Cross Tag Battle 2.0 existing because, there's honestly right now, if you've never played Cross Tag Battle, special edition is the best way to go, right? Special edition is the best way to go because now you don't have to worry about buying a ton of DLC. I mean, you technically are, but it's all packaged in one, so you don't have to worry about doing all that. If you're starting in BlazBlue for the very first time and you don't want to play Central Fiction, or if you do, I recommend you at least play Central Fiction. And if you have some money left over to burn, you can buy Cross Tag Battle and see how they play. I honestly believe Cross Tag Battle is a good game gameplay wise for me personally. Yeah, a lot of other things around the game, yeah, it's kind of bare bones in regards of content that kind of sucks. Really, it does. But I feel like at least with rollback netcode, for people who are playing online, it will at least keep people's interest there. And the same goes for Central Fiction, but this is a video about Cross Tag Battle. But yeah, me playing Cross Tag Battle actually feels pretty fun again. Yeah, I stopped playing it for a while, mostly because I had the Switch version and I didn't play it too much because I had other games on my Switch to play. At least at that moment, I kind of just stopped playing after a while. And then after a while, I just deleted the game off my Switch because it makes space. But now that I'm on my PS4 again, I actually have a complete, like a huge urge to play it again, right? And I actually really I'm actually having a lot of fun playing it again. It makes me think like, man, this game was really, really good. At least 2.0, at least 2.0 is really fun to play. I'm not going to speak up for the original launch version because, again, the original launch version was rough. Honestly, if it's on sale, if it's on sale and the special edition is on sale, like honestly, the special edition, the expansion pack is $25, and the game with all the DLC is usually they usually go for cheap for $5, and the DLC is like $20, so that's $25. Technically, you can just buy a special edition because that will cost the exact same thing with no tax, but still. Yeah. Honestly, this is the perfect time to get into Cross Tag Battle if you haven't played it yet. If you're still playing it, it's still perfect because rollback is coming in. A lot more people are willing to play the game because rollback netcode exists. A lot of people are still playing Central Fiction right now because of the rollback. Hell, I see some people still playing Guilty Gear XX Accent Core because of the rollback. And it's nice to see ARCSYS Works add rollback to their older games. Honestly, I think the only other game I would want to add rollback to outside of Persona, then again, Atlas, that's Atlas's property, so I can't really say that. They can't really add rollback to that game because that's Atlas's property. But they can add rollback to Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2. They can do that. They can totally X that. I like Rev 2, and any excuse for me to play it again, I would definitely play it. Rollback online, all that crap, you know. Yeah, I feel like the only other game they could ever add rollback to that they own, because, like, you know, they developed Persona 4 Arena and Arena Ultimax, but Atlus still owns it. It's still Atlus's IP at the end of the day. So whoever has to add the rollback, it will be Atlus. That's why when I say when people want ARCSYS Works to add rollback to Dragon Ball FighterZ, they technically can't, because Bandai Namco owns the Dragon Ball license and technically owns FighterZ. It's just ARCSYS Works working for them, so they can make so ARCSYS Works can make the game. So yeah, it's a crazy legal process that a bunch of bells and whistles that just ARCSYS Works has no control over. But they can add rollback to XR. I keep saying I keep using the word XR confused. I keep wanting to say XSense. But yeah, XR Rev 2. But anyway, yeah, BlazBlue Cross-Type Battles. I had fun with the game. It's actually really fun. There's still some issues that I still remember, but that's a different video. But for me, I'm having fun playing the game. And really, that's all that matters to me.